Where? Quite hard. Get ready to go all the way around. I like going all the way. Yeah.
Oh, you're turning the wrong way, Robert. Here we go.
Hello, sweetie.
All right, make a fist and squeeze those there. If you lose them, you owe me a lot of money.
Hey, you turn your head around.
Bobby.
Robert.
He's like, nope.
Why do you call him Robert? What's
His name is Sir Robert the Bruce.
Oh, Robert. Okay.
Sometimes we call him Bobby for short.
Okay.
So fine and everything that the water just eats up and rolls right off.
He's a beauty.
As you get older, it's harder to get the bigger steps. And he's, like I said, he's 23 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
In the wild. They lay a clutch of 4 eggs. So mathematically it works out that at least one of them will survive the first year. And the one that survives the first year usually lasts about 6 to 8 years.
So was he ever in the wild?
He was actually hatched in the wild, but he fell out of his nest. And where you? No, he's not. He's just, he's a bit cranky.
Oh, just like me. Perfect.
So he was hatched in the wild. Grab a glove. And he had fallen out of his nest, and he was found by some hikers. And the hikers said, "Oh no, he's been abandoned by his family." He hadn't really. Owls will actually raise their young from the ground. So if you do find an owl under a tree, just leave it alone. Its parents will make it safe and stuff. But what? Aye. But they took him to a rehabilitation centre, which is better than trying to raise him themselves. But what ended up happening was this. I'm going to fix your arm here so it's easier for you. The rehab centre was used to dealing with what? The bad thing that they did is they surrounded him with cute, fluffy things to play with, because they thought, oh, he's so cute, he needs to play with fluffy, cute things.
Yeah.
And so they put him in with a bunch of stuffed animals. And it was at that age where he needs to imprint on his parents to know what kind of a bird he is. So Sir Robert here doesn't know he's an owl. He thinks he's a beanie baby.
Oh, a beanie baby owl.
He thinks,
Perfect.
We've actually, when we saw how they were taking care of him, we took him from them and said, look, you're not equipped to take care of a bird of prey. That's what we do. We do this all the time. So we took him in. We tried to teach him how to hunt, but he'd already imprinted on those, and so he likes to stand still in cramped spaces. And we've tried to get him to kill things. He just has no idea how to do it. He gets afraid of them.
You keep saying we. Who's we?
We, Falcon's Court, our organization, yes. In fact, the birds, we go all up and down the state, but the birds' year-round house is in Vallejo. But we do 7th grade social studies classes. We do Renaissance presentations for 7th graders all up and down the state.
Nice.
Some of the year, about 3 months out of the year, a lot of our business is down in I'm pointing that way, like I think it's that way. I think it is. Southern California? Is that way? All right, here we go.
It's one way or the other.
Down by in the Los Angeles area is where we do a lot of our business, and then for another month or two we do a bunch of business up by Vallejo in the Bay Area. No, she is a Harris hog.
Hours to get that horse washed, conditioned, and ready to go to the show. Now, not only are gypsy horses known for their beauty, but also for their excellent temperament. In the gypsy culture, horse company is imported from England. He stands a mighty 15 hands tall. We've got Brooke, who's riding Bojangles from Painted Gypsy Ranch. Bojangles stands a mighty 14 hands tall, 13 years old, and is imported from Robert Watkins.
All these cards are on their last leg.
Have excitement on the dice for that strike. Let us see how it hits. Skill. The knights are not going to be combating each other. They're going to be competing side by side through challenges. The first of which you'll notice in the center are rings hanging from arms of these dummies. They're going to aim for the larger of those rings, spreading it through like a needle. Let us see how they do. Cheer your knights! Like 2-1 pass for Scotland.
Yes! Swing!
And you too, the audience, shall play a part in this our entertainment. For when you see this lovely lady displaying her signs, lustfully do what is written upon them, such as...
Another example. If you should see us perform any dashing, daring do, you could cry out, huzzah!
Such as...
Swords!
Whoa! Whoosha! Whoosha! How! Ho!
That's amazing! How does he do
Oh, that really hurts. Oh, no, wait. Do we get one more? Oh, no, pulling out never works.
In then!
No, that tickles.
Queen of England, Ireland, and France, defender of the faith, most worthy Empress, from the Orchid Isles unto the mountains Pyrenees. I say to you now, God save the Queen!
God save the Queen!
Salute
for Queen and country!
You may be dismissed. Good lads, Cadets, we do thank thee for thy service and protection.
Be royal, be nice, turn in more share.
Lord Lester, we do thank thee for this welcome as well. We look forward to a day spent in merriment with our good people.
Ha! Well, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty! As I have spent countless hours in this provincial backwater over the past fortnight, pray, let me introduce the local dignitaries such as they are.
Proceed, Lord Oxford.
May I introduce the newly appointed Lord Mayor of Willington? Woodford be willing?
Your Majesty, may I introduce my intended wife-to-be, Dame Winifred Willing, with your permission, of course.
We understand you are not married as of yet. However, you have the same last name.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. It's a bit of a story, you see.
Oh, that is quite all right.
It's funny to be in the countryside once again.
Well, we do offer you our congratulations and best of luck, lady.
I humbly thank you, Your Majesty.
Next, may I introduce the personage of right here in our village, Dame Phoebe Willing Tipswell Pullet Scratchet Manwich.
Your Majesty, my cousins and I are overjoyed that you're joining us here in our village.
We are so pleased that you have chosen Wellington to celebrate the Harvest Fair. And as a gesture of our love, please accept this purse of 50 gold crowns.
Well, we do thank thee, Dame Winifred, Dame Phoebe, Mayor Willing, and all you good people. We are most pleased. Lord Leicester, come hither.
Your Majesty, yes.
Take this into thy good care, for it contains a thing worth more than mere gold. It contains the love of our people.
Aye. Your Majesty, for your entertainment, we have brought all the way from London a rare treat for you.
Oh, a bear baiting? Oxford's bad poetry.
Your Majesty, for your amusement, we have an apostle of allegory, an oracle of oratory.
In short, a man of parts. May I present to you all Master William Shakespeare!
Oh, now, poet, so far from thy muse in London.
Say rather, Your Majesty, that we in London are without our muse, for you are here in the countryside. And a poet must seek his inspiration. May I tempt you with a sampling of my work?
Oh, by all means.
Hark! What light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Elizabeth is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, for she is pale and wan with envy that you are more fair.
Well done, Master Shakespeare. And what is thy next production?
Two Gentlemen of Verona, Your Majesty.
Oh, does this one have a dog in it?
It does, actually.
Excellent.
Well, we shall see it upon our return to London.
Next, Your Majesty, may I introduce, the mistress of misrules for you. Mistress Ophelia Wood, our annual mistress of the revels.
Hearken, good gentles, attend to my plea. To lift up thy spirits, these merriments three. Come, play a note, make some music to prance. Let the world slip and join in the dance.
Well now, woo me, for now I am in a holiday humor and like enough to consent.
I wrote that.
Indeed, my lord, humor may drown an audience in laughter, while at the same time being quite dry. I do think thou might be over thy head in this flood. 'Tis not so, your majesty.
She has a sharp wit, to be sure.
Better a sharp wit honed to a razor's edge than a dull wit that is of use to none.
Oh, she is wise as well. I fear me, Robin, thou art out of thy depth, matching wits with this scholar.
And yet my only desire for you, your majesty, and all you noble gentles, is that you join us in sports as we drive away all earthly care.
An excellent idea. I find myself lost in thine eyes, sweet lady, and all thoughts of earthly cares are carried off and are melted like tears in rain.
Oh, you flatter with your silver tongue, Master Shakespeare.
I could do so much more than Shall we get back to the revels at hand?
Your Majesty, the Wellington players have been working tirelessly on a new theatrical production. They've been rehearsing for weeks.
Yes, they actually won the Derbyshire Award for Best Theatrical Company of Local Players 2 years running.
And I'm certain the competition is stiff in these parts.
Well, we look forward to seeing.
You must excuse me, Your Majesty, if I might beg your pardon. I must away to assist the local players. Unbeknownst to me, The Lord Oxford has sent them one of my plays to perform.
Oh?
It is a surprise of such measure that even I was not aware of it. By your leave, your majesty. And if I may take the sweet Lady Ophelia with me, her presence fuels my inspiration.
Indeed. Be wary of him, dear maid. Guard thy virtue and thy heart. I suspect Master Shakespeare is more clever than he lets on. Well now, my Lord Oxford, what play of Master Shakespeare's hast thou stolen this time and sent to these good people?
Your Majesty, I have brought a comedy for this day of revel.
Oh, and what comedy would this be?
Richard III.
That is not a comedy.
Oh, it will be.
Well, perhaps, Oxford, we shall have you perform.
Well, Your Majesty, you need not travel so far from London to seek merriment.
How so, Robin?
Well, as long as you have your faithful servant so near at hand, it is my pleasure to provide you with merriment and diversion.
We are always merry as long as you are near my eyes.
Your Majesty, are such displays of affection really necessary in front of the local gentry and livestock?
My Lord Oxford, our choice of amusements is none of thy concern.
Your Majesty, if it is amusement you seek, you shall look no further than His Royal Highness, the Duke of Alençon.
Voila, Your Majesty. If it is entertainment you need, then entertainment you shall receive.
Your Majesty, let not this distraction keep us from our special day of merriment.
What's the matter, Leicester? Afraid of a little competition? Yes, the nouveau riche son of a line of traitors versus the Royal Duke of France. No competition.
Gentlemen, how can you say there is no merriment? J'apporte la joie partout où je vais. If I may use your fool, my mouse vertu. Le boy?
Oh, Master Boy, mind thyself.
Do that thing that we practiced.
What is this? This entertainment is not fit for the Queen. Any English entertainment is superior to this French folly.
I do not see any English entertainment.
Right here. Forgive me, Your Majesty, Your Grace. The good people of Wellington have brought several entertainments for you.
Well, it cannot be any worse than that.
May I present to you Faire and his musical mind?
Strike? Mice can't go on strike.
What now?
Oh, Sir Walter, this is a pleasant surprise. We had no word of your arrival back in England.
Your Majesty, I could not stay away. As soon as I had the Orc Royal docked, I grabbed this horse and hastened to your side.
And soon the air smelt like fish and tobacco.
Indeed, Walter. Well, we look forward to hearing thy tales of high adventure upon the seas.
I wish not to wear your delicate ear with sailors' tales.
Oh no, we would love to hear them.
Yes, regale us all, Walter.
Well then, of course. We set out for Plymouth with half a dozen ships in the company of Lord Howard, the Earl of Essex, and countless other nobles of good character and hardy constitutions. We set out for the Indies, but were waylaid by Spanish galleons.
Oh.
Those multi-deck ships so massive they almost blotted out the sun. Ha, they were a terror to be sure, but our English ships were smaller, more nimble and swift. And we harried those lumbering galleons like a terrier with a rat. And when we were done, their hulls were filled with more holes than cheese from the Swiss.
And yet you came all this way just to to arrive empty-handed.
Never, sir! I brought from Majesty gold bullion, silver, silks, spices, and gems. All of the plundered treasures that would have enriched King Philip in Spain have been brought home to England.
Ooh, jewels? We French have the best jewels in fashion. Je suis très amoureux de ces pantalons.
Oh! Your Majesty, I meant not to put a dampener on your revels, but to simply bring a small bit of sunshine to this harvest celebration.
Well, Walter, thou dost bring the sun with thee wherever thou dost travel.
Aye, we mortals might burn ourselves basking in your radiance.
Robin.
I minded not, Your Majesty, for the sun is accustomed to the shadow of passing clouds.
It seems any nobody can make a mediocre rise and corpse these days, with a few lackluster tales of picking weevils from biscuits.
It is not my fault, Lord Oxford, that you spend all of your time on sea voyages, leaning over the rail and feeding the fish your extravagant lunch.
Raleigh, may I remind you that my family was creating history while yours was wallowing in the bogs of Wales.
I did not know you needed wealth in order to tell a good tale or better your lot in life.
It is not required, but good breeding does win out.
Indeed. I know not who sired you, but all the world knows that puppies are gotten by dogs and children by men.
Ooh. That is the last line you shall cross. I demand
No! Stop it! This is to be a day of revelry. Well, we shall ask our people for their opinion. Now, good people, will you see swords cross this day? Yes! Oh, a bloodthirsty lot! Yes, especially you, sir. Well then, we shall have a competition of skill only. As both of you are too hot-headed, you shall both choose champions to fight on your behalf.
Very well. I choose Captain Thorpe.
I would rather fight my own battles, but very well. I choose my cousin to second me.
I will not lose to that den. Do all you can to win. Cheat if you must.
My lord, I cannot.
I am your peer and your better. Cheat, or I will kill you myself.
This shall be a contest of skill only. The first to score a touch shall be the victor. And, as the Queen has commanded it, there shall be no bloodshed.
So, Jack, just like that time in Lisbon, eh? How did it work?
Him, cousin!
Stop fighting like the French!
And it goes.
Wait a moment. Please, I don't think so. No, certainly you'll put yours down, sir. In the interest of fairness, I don't think so.
Hey, there you have it.
Well done, Thorpe! Well done!
Not well done! This was supposed to be a gentlemanly competition. What is the meaning of this?
My apologies, Your Majesty. Lord Oxford commanded me fight this way.
What?
Oh, indeed. Well, we shall handle this. You have both fought well. Didst thou order this honest man to cheat so you could win.
You cannot be surprised, Your Majesty. Oxford can never lose.
Lose? Win? Do you think this is some sort of game?
Oh, well then what is it? Because all I see is a grown child throwing a tantrum because he is not the center of attention.
I am the premier peer of this realm. You should be taking my advice and counsel. But instead, like the weak, vain woman you are, you have filled your council with lapdogs and dead. Our country needs a king to provide us with an heir. Who will be our king? Your simpering Leicester? A pirate of a low birth? Or the greatest prince in all of Christendom?
You cannot speak to the queen in this fashion.
We shall settle this here and now. We do have a confession to make. We're already married. To England.
Yes! We've heard that before. But that does not allow for the succession. It is not natural for a woman to lead alone. We need a man with a large army on our side to defend us. Who will be our king?
Well, we will not marry to appease thee. We will not sacrifice our person for thy benefit.
I did not go through all the expense to bring the Duke of France to this backwater village for him to be cast aside like some pauper. You must consider marriage now.
Most is not a word you use with absolute princes, little man. There is no world under God's own sky where subjects such as thyself would meddle in the affairs of kings.
There is no world where a woman speaks that way to me.
Oh, well, I know. Thou wouldst leave have a man upon this throne, but God gave it to me.
Aye! That God made a mistake!
God does not make mistakes, sir. Men do. Do not think you can trick me. I have such cunning that if I were turned out of this kingdom in my petticoat, I would prosper anywhere in Christendom.
Then go! You have enough practice playing Leicester's harp.
Say that again. One more time. Thou art pathetic. Gods, get him out of thy sight.
Save the queen.
Your Majesty, Bess, Lord Oxford, he was correct in one thing. You shouldn't be alone. Marry me, Bess, and let me keep you safe from whatever may come.
My dear Robin, if God puts it into my mind to marry, then I will marry. But I can marry no one whom my people cannot accept. If at the end of Marblestone should record that this queen, having reigned such and such a time, lived and died a virgin,
Your Majesty.
I will marry at no man's bidding, Rob, so you can put that idea clean out of your head. My good and loving people, there may be some who, for the sake of the state and our personal benefit, would have us marry. Now, I do desire this most happy state, while remembering that our first duty, above our own happiness, is in the care of our realm. It has been my life's work, sacrifice, head to my loving subjects. To their prosperity, to the sovereign realm and azure seas, to this England! My loyal subjects all, you may have and have had mightier and wiser princes. But you shall never have a prince who loves you more.
Oh, God save the Queen!
God save the Queen! Her Majesty willing to progress.
my God.